Me.
Is it okay if I call you Steven?
Fire. You can
Is
call
that
me
okay?
Steven.
All right.
Just don't call me late for lunch.
Okay. All right, Steven. So you are one of the legends of rock. And you could be in basically any movie you wanted to. What made you choose this movie?
They called me up and said, look, I know you don't have any time, but you want to be in a movie where you get to be yourself. So it's not much of a, it's not hard for me to play myself, especially in a movie like this. So it was a great experience.
Because you said in the movie, actually, you don't base your career on being in the movie. So how did that happen?
That the movie was actually wrapped around something that happens in the music business a lot, and John Travolta comes from the movies, and this movie is about what happens in the music business. And I thought, you know, I live that, so this should be a shoo-in for me, so it was easy.
So is the music industry really like how it's portrayed in the movie?
Yes, but this was very quick. It usually takes 5 or 6 years. It's a glacial experience with a lot of verklempt and freaking out, but, you know, it's a parody, you know, on somebody who's got a lot of talent, someone who sees it and someone who thinks they see it but don't see it, and the fight between the two. I thought the movie really portrayed it well. The Russian mafia could be your label, you know, and Travolta could have been any manager I've ever had. Especially he's like the new one, because he's very much like Howard.
So what's the worst experience you ever had in the industry down the line in your career?
Probably going to Australia and finding out that they left the single, Dude Looks Like a Lady, home in the States. So they didn't have it over there to play. And we found that out after the first show. I said, how come the kids don't know that song? They sat down when we played our hit single. Well, we have some bad news and some good news.
Unbelievable.
The good news is you're going to be swimming at the Great Barrier Reef this afternoon. That was the worst.
And would you advise, like a young talent, what is the advice you would give somebody like Linda Moon to get ahead in the industry?
You know what? In the movie, she really plays a strong-headed girl that is missing in a lot of talented people. You know, they get fearful that they're not going to do good enough, and she doesn't stand for it. She says, I'm not doing it unless you do it my way. I've heard a lot of artists say that, and then management doesn't let them do it. But here, the manager was smart enough to say, she's going to really shine if we let her do it. And that's why I loved this movie.
And what's the greatest part of being a rock star, and did it change?
Coming here and talking to people like you.
Great. All right.
Yeah.
Sounds great. And I loved the movie. I loved the way you portrayed yourself, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And it seemed pretty, especially the way LA is portrayed. And did that change over the times, or?
No, it's very perfectly true, you know. And then today with hip hop, and I mean, people are getting shot left and right. So it was really well. I saw the movie last night for the first time, and I thought it was very depicted. It was depicted well. It was actually, it really played out what's going on in the industry today.
And how does it feel to be on stage, like being on stage?
It's everything for me. You know, I'm addicted to adrenaline. So every time I go on stage, it fulfills something that I think I need in me. And I do. I mean, you know, to play with Joe Perry and 30,000 people a whack at night, it's just very exhilarating, and it's just a little hard to not be on tour because I Jones. I sit home and go to the movies and I think, is that all there is? Movies and a dinner? Well, can't we go out and free fall for 4 hours?
Great.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Nice
Thank
to
you so
meet you,
much,
man.
Steve. It was brilliant.
Okay, man.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks.